Now I need to watch the first one because why not? Wallet Impact. That's a perfect fucking name for it. Spookening? The Spookening.
Genshin Impact is a game which has sucked away my soul and killed my dog. I first began playing Genshin Impact because of all the cute women, then experienced apotheosis and a philosophical enlightenment through death of my own ego. I love Genshin Impact, but this game will have an impact on your social life, and even after you stop playing, you will not recover. To this day, it has left me in a perpetual state of sophisticated molding, and I recommend it for all the wrong reasons. In this game, you play as John Impact, an extra-dimensional being whose brother was eaten by Mega Blocks, and is forced to navigate Avatar, the Last Airbender for weeaboos, powered by its simple chemistry system in which—
No, to be honest, just okay, I did not mean to pause it like that. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, let me just change that. Good point. Change that. Quite the frame to pause, yes. Best frame to pause at. Best.
which characters electrocute, burn, and throw rocks at each other. One of those is much less cool, but it, like Australopithecus, was my primary source of damage. Now trapped in the land of gotcha hell, our protagonist must find a way to save our siblings by fighting geometry, the indigenous inhabitants of Twitter, space midgets, and the Ice KGB as well.
Ice KGB.
Solve puzzles, play.
That's a fucking first.
Cook, get arrested for looking at Zhongling too much, get sentenced to 10 years, and emerge from prison a
Hi,
devout
Kitsune.
Buddhist. This video is going to be about my
How's your day?
experience playing this interesting game and how to objectively have the most fun with it. It's a very bad sign when most people who play the game don't recommend it, but I do. Although I am slightly a dingus, so I don't recommend.
I'm slightly a fucking dingus.
Entertainment. So whether you're new to this strange, otherworldly Chinese software,
My days have been good.
Genshin Pro, please allow
Been
me
good.
to tell you the tale of
Watching
how
Maxor
to
videos, you know,
Genshin Impact
best
into
thing
my
ever.
frontal lobe. Here's a fun tip that most Genshin players don't know. The age of consent is 18 years old. Let's begin with what's maximally important. Not the gameplay, not the story, nor anything you would
Stay for
typically
Genshin, stay
associate
for
with
Max.
video
I literally
games.
just changed it to
These
just
simple
chatting too. I was gonna play
games
Genshin, but I, you know,
gain attractive people and then parade
getting
them around
distracted
like a
from these
child on
videos.
TLC. I do not exaggerate when I say this is probably what attracted most people to this game. If you want an example, Lisa is a character who continually refers to herself as One-sama and sounds like she is at all times on the verge of sex.
Yeah,
I received her after completing a quest. and
that
I
is
decided that I
very
would use
true.
Lisa exclusively to do rock climbing. That way, I could repeatedly hear her oddly enthusiastic moaning for the next 10 hours of gameplay. I literally installed this game after downloading 60 images of Ganyu, since the official lore of the game specifies that she killed a monster after being eaten by it because her ass was so big
Yeah,
it blocked
you,
his tree
yeah,
and so-
yeah.
However, there is a catch. I don't have Ganyu, and I never will. You have a
Same
real
here.
chance to get characters,
I'll never
and that
get
chance
her.
isn't high, 5.1% to be exact, and that's getting anyone. So if you want a particular character, get fucked. You could
Get
have your
fucked.
very first role be a high-level DPS character that carries you through the game with chimpanzee martial arts, or you could roll 3 useless small boys in a row and then desire death. It's a fucking guy. God damn it. And while I'm writing about bad things that could be deal breakers,
I want
the engine for
Ganyu
this game
so
is
bad.
very strong and has ring 0
But I
functions
must
on
say
your
for
kernel.
Father.
This means that it can read and
Father
write
must
memory
come
at
home
any
to me.
location in your computer without seg faulting. I, however, am not afraid, since if she
Everyone got her except for me.
computer's data, all he will find is 50 pages of Waluigi hentai.
Give me
It's
her.
your loss. And yes, it does
Give
turn
me.
off when the game isn't running. So this review is going to include a guide on how to have fun, because like real life, lust
You
and
can't have
fear
fun at
causes
this game.
Suicidal depression. Step 1. Play as optimally as you want. Do not try to min-max shit because RNGesus will snap your fucking neck. Do whatever is fun with whatever you have. In my case, I decided that I would roleplay as a violent misandrist and only play as women out of principle. Any men that I rolled would be locked at level 1 and made useful in the coal mines. It is simply not worth it for me to engage in combat if I cannot also yank it. The central point of the characters is that they are potential wives, and I am absolutely, definitely, 1000% secure in my masculinity. Playing the game optimally in this case would mean making the game boring and staring at man-ass.
Very true.
Fuck it. If, for instance, I had wanted a particular, legally questionable female to be my digital puppet, the chance of me receiving that would be 0.3%, which is where this image comes from. Take what you can get with the rolls. Don't be mad. Exercise patience and control, and you will have a lot more fun. I definitely have not sold my house to get big-titted pirate mommy. But Maxor, I hear your thoughts. Why are you displaying a single image of a regular crab on my screen? And also, what is the world of Genshin Impact, and why are we here? That is a great question, James. Because before we get into the exploration and the combat, we must first understand the context with which I run my beauty pageant. And like every game made by Asian people on my channel, the lore is some Hyperborean bullshit. So let's say rule number 2 of enjoying the game is not caring about this, just like 90% of the player base.
No, we might tank until the end time.
The 7 elements. Except the nature god. He's special. This came about because 2,800 years ago, there were like 80 gods or something. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. No, but
the Fire Nation attacked.
So literally every god fought over their power to the death. The result was the 7 gods of each element we see today, each ruling over their own nation in their own fucked up ways. Every once in a while,
I get PTSD just staring at that.
Just give random people superpowers, like how the electricity god just gave a girl with a mental disorder a talking bird. This also includes small children who could very possibly kill themselves.
My little bomber.
Now, the world you see in game takes place in 2 nations, or 3 if you're from the future. The first is Mondstadt, a lawless, anarcho-capitalist commune in New Hampshire, which has no
New Hampshire.
kind. They instead rely institutionally on vigilante justice, including a hot Batman. As a result, an entire territory of their nation is completely overrun with wolves. No one has the systemic authority to stop people from exercising their rights and liberties to feed the wolves babies. Oh, also, there's the fucking dragon problem. Did I not mention the murderous dragon? Next, we have the nation of Liyue, an extremely rich and powerful country to the east. They have recently come into conflict with Mondstadt due to the Luhua Pool massacre of 69, as well as a foreign policy involving a 9-dashed line in the Sea of Clouds. Headed by the Tianchuan Ningguang of the Liyue Qixing, those are all real names, Liyue exhibits an unprecedented level of prosperity and control, living happily under the watchful eye of the rock god, who periodically disguises himself to ensure that the populace is behaving well and upholding their state contracts, just in case. Now China, I know you're new to making video games, yet in my country we have a long history of shooting people, but who lives in Liyue and who lives in where is in? The answer is unfortunate. Populating this extensive world will be several factions of enemies with subgroups, elemental specializations, and
shooting
the
people
enemy variety of
in
this
my
game paints a
country.
picture of a post-apocalyptic nightmare world where raving bands of savages constantly destroy everything, locking humanity in a perpetual state of warfare with armies of bandits and the midget people. One of these groups is the Hilichurls, an intelligent race capable of empathy and complex thoughts, which is why they must be destroyed. These guys make the Gombe chimpanzee war look like a fucking joke, and at no point does anyone in the entire game even give a shred of sympathy for the Hilichurls, except for Elon Musk. They can be big gorilla, small monkey, operate complex machinery, and have their own language. This makes it more fun to slaughter entire villages of them and steal their possessions with no consequences. In fact, you're encouraged to do it. Overall, I would rate them a genocide out of 10. Next are the country-sized hordes of organized bandits called the Treasure Hoarders, who are just regular guys forced to fight you with shovels and Molotov.
I have to watch that one. I played that and I need to watch it.
Because they committed a crime,
I love the vengeance.
Abyss mages are very simple because
you know what I mean.
One enemy with 2 reskins, who are also inhuman beings of the
Oh.
void, who sworn vengeance upon humanity
I
itself.
fucking hate them.
Well, almost entirely in fucking space. The Fatui of Snezhnaya are heavily armed diplomats sent to dominate the world of Teyvat through subterfuge, and employing 9-foot-tall people with hammers is absolutely conducive to this goal, I promise. They are unique among Teyvat because they serve the interests of the Tsaritsa of Snezhnaya, also known as the god of ice. That's important because it's very weird that they primarily use electricity and fire.
You're right.
The
I had
ice
until
gods are just
7.
fucking lazy. The Fatui are always up to no good, like stealing the wind god's power or like a bank heist. They're also really hot, so I'm not stopping them. Finally, we have the local wildlife of Teyvat, which is 90% slimes and 10% these fuckers. I spent most of the fight waiting to do something.
Computer deactivate iguana.
That's really what the combat is all about. Sometimes it's
Fucking
like,
child.
holy
I fucking hate him.
and other times it's like, I think that bush just fucking... Really, no matter what happens, you're in for an experience. Let's find out if that's bad or worse.
I'll watch it next. I'll definitely watch it next.
It's a game about flow, where to
A lot of
maximize their
content.
power, the player dynamically switches between their DPS character and everyone else. Rule number 3 of Genshin Impact.
I'll have like
Pick one. Your typical
3
team is
videos
comprised
upload
of
then.
Your DPS baby, your heal support, your burst support, and moral support. Think of it like a train. You only need one engine and enough weight to kill Terry Davis. Now, like
He's
everything,
terrifying.
characters have elemental alignments, which, depending on the enemy, can ruin the game. My wife Barbara could heal me, but in the process, must make everyone wet, which makes us a proverbial bathtub, which enemies will then catapult toasters into for massive damage. It's a fucking
Did he
blast.
just-
You feel like a chemistry professor gone rogue, using the elements to his advantage and then blowing himself up in the process. Unless your DPS uses rocks, in which case, you know, just watch, I guess. Everything is elements, and everyone has an elemental skill and alignment. Unless you're the nature god who has no characters. Some are bad, and others are very bad. But many are completely game-changing, like how Beto's elemental skill adds a parry mechanic to the game, or how Ningguang invalidates all ranged enemies. The combat is definitely its strength, and is an experiment in how bad you can craft your psychotic dog water alchemy, and hopefully create a moving ball of destruction strong enough to kill God. To extend this concept, every character uses one of 5 unique weapon classes, such as Mongolian, Controller Erosion, the Waiting Game, Egg Catapults, and the Speed Demon. So be careful with who you choose and what weapons they— oh wait, no, it's random. Get fucked. Now, this
Get
would all be
fucked.
excellent gameplay if it didn't sometimes amount to throwing 2 sponges at each other. Enemies scale to your level, and generally health is not hard to come by. So depending on your investment, some enemies could take minutes to kill. This all amounts to making
Definitely.
a classic video game build, the tank.
It takes me like around like 5 to 10 minutes to kill.
You don't need a tank because
But for
you will
2
be
weeks.
switching to your DPS anyways, who is a tank against your will. Health is literally always a shackle and a curse. That is, of course, unless you're playing Barbara, whose healing scales only off of health, making her tankier than Tien. Let's go over an example party to give you some idea of the insanity that we're working with. It is optimal in most of my combat scenarios to cause forest fires by throwing a spicy bear. Why? Well, it's obvious. My DPS
Good
Beto
boys.
can carry anything, which includes the heat of fire. Or how about Ningguang, who spawns a wall inside of enemies like it's Gary's mod? We just do it to piss them off. Did I also mention you can invite your insane Discord stalker to play co-op with you? The combat is fully functional.
Hello, Max.
I made a mistake, and this is
I
a
made a
complicated
mistake.
system by which you customize artifacts, upgrade your weapon, and level your character's talents, because that's boring. It can be made especially boring when you have to pick 30 mushrooms to do it, but you know, here we are. That leads me to my next point. You're gonna have to explore for those mushrooms, and that sounds bad, but it's actually the best part. Get ready for some cross-country gaming, because we literally have a lot of ground to cover. So rule number 4 of Genshin Impact is that if you see something, just go.
Yeah, just if you see something, just go towards it.
This game looks identical to Breath of the Wild, right down to the UI. This is an objectively correct assessment. It's just that the game doesn't give a shit, and neither should we. Breath of the Wild was so good that I wanted Breath of the Wild with more anime pussy, because god damn it, why did Nintendo make Zelda look like that? The amount of bandits and foreign soldiers in this game suddenly makes sense when you realize it has the geography of fucking Afghanistan. It's quite the versus place, but you're given the tools to navigate it, like your feet or your sweat. And there is quite a bit to see. So, for an example, when I first installed the game, I didn't know that Liyue was in it. That's over half of the map. I was doing a quest that required a wild radish, so I naturally went
wild
to find it and
radish.
accidentally discovered the entirety of Ming Dynasty China, at which point I was wrongfully assaulted after being mistaken for opium. This is one of those games where you start finding chests in the wild, and within 30 minutes are flying to a strange island with a man named Jeffrey. It's actually not that different to Skyrim, but this game makes Skyrim look like it's in Kansas. There is always something to do, and always something to find. You would think that it would get stale, but they just keep finding ways to turn on my neurons. There is a puzzle,
I just wanted the chest.
which spans an entire region of the game where you have to climb 3 mountains. You can spend an afternoon doing that, and it's viable. There is no direction that you can go that will not help you in some tangible way, and that's what's important about exploration. It's not just pretty, it's optimal. You see this shit right here. This activates my fucking almonds. Exploring this game trains your neurons to fire at the most basic of incentives, like a lab chimp. But seriously, if you aren't yet considering the game, just have fun exploring it. Stop and smell the flowers, and accidentally find China over a vegetable.
Why do I hear? Why?
3 hours. Now, if the review had ended here, this would be a definite recommend because the game is free. It costs $0. It cannot yank your bank. Not that I would know. But I must warn you that there are some serious drawbacks besides the fucking Chinese surveillance state that you have have to install, so it's time to give you the final tools and rules that you need to enjoy this game. Regula numerus quinque of Genshin Impact is just, please God, use the resin every So to explain that, you have to understand that this game works by mostly giving you what you want when you seek it out. Unless it's crit damage.
It costs $0. Aha! Sure it does. 100%.
When it comes to grinding, there is a clever way
It definitely costs $0.
trivialize the entire game, which is that the game just stops you. You expend resin when you kill a boss, want money, want XP, want artifacts, want to live, want to see my daughter again, pretty much anything. And if you have no resin, well, better wait. God will collect his existence tax and you will fucking pay. Even if you live in Mondstadt, the IRS is an eternal fixture of the universe. And although it's nice to have fair guarantees for artifacts, it has the unique side effect of stopping the game from being played. You get 160 a day, and for reference, you spend 40 for boss loot, so good luck. And if you thought that was bad, get ready for Rule 6, which is, yeah, you gotta do the daily quests.
You know. Okay. Costs $0. Okay. Free game. $0. It gives you a gambling addiction. Now, people who have been here for quite a while know what has happened with me and Raiden. Now, new people. The second rerun of Raiden, whenever that was, I forgot when that was. I was like, I have a shit ton of primos, and I think I had like at least 50. I think I had like still 20,000. Because I was also sharing, at the time I was also sharing for Yalan. Saving for Yalan. And I got Yalan in the first pull. And then after that, I just stopped playing the game. And then I saw Raiden come for another rerun. Or not for a rerun. For her second time coming out. I was like, you know what? I am going to use my primos and let's see if I can get, Raiden. 20,000 primos later, I see Sarah, or Sarah, whatever. And I still didn't get Raiden. So I decided, let me spend $300-400 in the game and let me get Raiden. $300 to $400 later, I still didn't get Raiden. Why the fuck does this game hate me? What did I do to deserve this? So much fucking primos, so much pulling just for not even I don't even know who the fuck I've got. I was getting 5-star characters and I just did not even fucking give a shit. Like, I wanted Sarah. Like, I did. And then I didn't want her anymore because I C6 her. Same story for me with Hu Tao. I want Hu Tao. I don't have her. I don't have a lot of people, to be honest. Like, I really don't. God damn your luck stat, like -15. Not even -15. Try like -70. It's absolutely fucking terrible what my luck is. This is why you don't spend money on. Nah. We gotta spend money. It's there for a reason. Finally got Hu Tao to 30k primos. I really wanted, I wanted to get back into this game and save up entirely and see if I can get everyone, but that didn't really fucking happen. I went on Genshin earlier and I had like 2,500 primos. I was just like, okay, hopefully this is good enough for fucking Father to come out. My luck is better than HSR and Snowbreak. No need for Genshin anymore. You know what the funny thing is? I am free to play on Star Rail. Now, the only time I actually pulled was when I was going for when Kafka was about to get released. And I got Kafka. Luckily, on the last pull, I got her, and I quit the game from there. And I never played the game ever again. If you don't spend money, if I don't spend money on my gambling addiction, who will? I want to, but like, do I really? Like, listen. When I said I stopped playing that game, I really did stop playing that game. I got Kafka, I fucking leveled her up, and then that was it. I'm done. I'm still like on the second world, I'm pretty sure, from what Dragon told me. It's not like on the second world you're fighting what's her fucking name? What's her fucking name? Where fucking you're fighting robot man with small white hair girl. Why's your name? Oh, hi, Drifter. Why is it? Yeah, Clara. Yeah, I'm on her. It's just like, do I go like chat? Okay, I'm gonna need to hear this. Do I go back to Star Rail? Do I? Do I go back to Star Rail? If I do, I'm gonna start crying because I don't remember the stories. I want the characters. When I saw Black Swan and then Raiden fucking 7.0 come out, I was like, oh, I want them. And then I just stopped playing. And I never went back to it. No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with like turn-based. Star Rail is honestly fine. Because you know why? I don't have to fucking worry about fighting and talking at the same time. I can put it on autoplay and let it do it on its own. Snowbreak. Now, what is Snowbreak? I probably just pissed you the fuck off saying that. Do it soon? Why soon? What is going on? Why is the soon part there? Oh. That's the reason. Okay. All right. Then I'll definitely I'll have to update the game. Fuck. Right in 7.0. May 12.0. Yeah, problem. Mate, how many are there? Oh, I want to get back into this conversation. How many are there? I know Third Impact is like a shit ton. And then you have Genshin, and then you have now Star Rail. Snowbreak is a shooter gacha division stuff. So basically I basically what is it called? Nikkei? Is that basically what it is at this point? I've been seeing a lot about that game. I want to play it. Oh, you're actually moving around. Okay, that's different then. Okay, then that's really different then. If you include all suits, okay. Nikkei is doing the ReZero collab right now. I haven't spent money in that game either. I looked at all the characters. I was just like, I want them all. I want them all. I want the outfits. I want everything, but I don't want to spend money. You know why? Because I don't have money to spend on. I did a couple missions. I'm pretty sure I remember crying in the beginning of the game because it was sad, and then it went on. That's literally all I remember. I played Nikkei, I cried at the beginning of the game, and then I just stopped playing the game. That's all I remember. That was it.
Hard at work on the daily dopamine farms, putting in that grind so that we can have a 4-star object every 20 days. It really makes a man
They're giving pulls every event. It's tempting now. It's tempting.
Thank you, Kane. This game can give you a lot if you decide to commit yourself to it. But if you don't, you will be.
If I ever see Albedo in Nikkei, I'm pulling. I do not care. I will fucking pull. I will spend money in that game because I am a huge fucking lover of Albedo. You know, speaking of Albedo, I have my other figure came in the other day. I am happy.
Scraping for crack crystals in a back alley, maybe make a YouTube video. That alone is probably enough to discourage most people. I thought I was going to be one of those people until I realized that I liked the game. Stockholm Syndrome is actually cool. And for our
Stockholm
final rule,
Syndrome.
you don't want to play with English voices. Set it to
You really-
literally any other language except English. Now, the voice work is
Yeah, and then go climb
it doesn't
something with
sound like
Lisa.
The dialogue was actually written for English, and the translation is fucking hilarious.
The wolves frighten him so badly that he's paralyzed with fear.
We've looked everywhere and haven't seen any.
So do what I do and play in Japanese, then switch the game to Chinese whenever you're in Liyue for maximum immersion. Dear Mr. Xi, please send missiles to liberate my country from the yoke of capitalism. Now that you're armed with what you need, should you play the game? Only if you have self-control. It's not worth it to
What
spend
is
money on the
self-control?
game. I'm serious, and that's why you should give me your money so I can spend it responsibly. Remember, the game is free, and so is the porn. I would like to thank the
Yeah.
kind Chinese billionaires
Yep.
and international arms dealers of the Maxor Patreon for funding my hopeless and deadly addictions. If you would like to help fund the videos corrupting America's youth in the name of Naxalite Maoism, you can head to the description to learn more. Thank you all for watching and waiting. And of course, your IP address has already been traced.
Fuck. I didn't want that to happen. Shit. Shit. Albedo makes my solar system turn white. Yeah, you know it. You fucking know it.